I just didn't. I didn't always feel like that in certain careers. I just haven't been fortunate enough to, took me a while. As a young person, I had to really kind of grind it out and see what I was supposed to do. But for me, I'm grateful that I love Mondays. I mean, I love every business day of the week. I love what I'm doing. And it's been a tremendous amount of fun. Certainly since I partnered up with John, has just been reinvigorated, which is an exciting thing. And I know not everybody loves a Monday, but thankfully, I like to think around here, we love the Mondays. And I will tell you what really gives purpose to Mondays for me. It's about having some really good purposes and some really good structures. So today I've put together a twofold training for you. That what I like to do in my training is really try to meet people where they're at. My mom would get mad at me for saying, you don't say at, you should try to correct my grammar. But I really do feel like there's a lowest common denominator of knowledge. And if you can figure out where that lowest common denominator of knowledge is for an individual, then you can track them to higher ground, just because you can't assume that everybody does all the same things or knows all the same things. And we have people that are experienced, people that are inexperienced, people that are wanting to get experienced. And so by putting that together for residential, commercial realtors, as well as investment realtors, business brokers, property managers, everything that we do under the sun, I feel like you always have to start with the lowest common denominator. And so the lowest common denominator is really about you as an individual. It's 100% you. If you don't have yourself figured out and the hierarchy of needs, if you don't go back to what's really important to why you're in this profession, it's going to be hard to push forward in the professional capacity or the professional hat that you put on a daily basis. So let's just go back to the fundamentals. And I have all this stuff for you and I've provided it, but if you need it again, it's in the shared group, but I'm happy to give it to you. They're templates. And I believe 100% that everybody should have a personal financial statement. And you should have a personal financial statement for a couple of reasons. One is, if you maintain your own personal financial statement, then all you have to do is update it. It will save you a ton of time. And then if you ever go off to shop for debt, a home equity line of credit, you're applying for a loan, you're putting a kid in college, maybe you need some financial assistance, whatever you need to do. Okay. If you do that, then you can just say, I maintain my own personal financial statement, and the bank, how many that you might be shopping at for, or any business opportunity that you're trying to acquire, then you can just sign off on a separate document that says that you attest it's all true and correct. So one, it's a time-saving mechanism. Two, it's fun to have a personal financial statement and do things to watch the net worth grow. And it's by design, it's by intention. And it connects the dots in your mind to help you take actions. And I'll explain that in a minute. And then I believe everyone in America from 13 years old and above should have a personal budget. My children get mad at me that I constantly force them into the personal budget. I put it on your budget, right? Even if it's an expense that I would pay for, still force them to put it in their personal budget, because it makes them start to understand their consumption and it starts to change behavior. You can do the same thing for your own household. You should. You 100% do this for your household, and you shouldn't look at it once a year. You should look at it monthly. You should see how you're doing in your personal budget, because it's the only way to build a business budget if you understand personal budgeting fundamentals. Okay, I believe every person should have a will and a storage place for important documents. You should 100% do that. And if you have a child, if you've had children, it's a must. You must have a will. And you can do it very inexpensively on the internet at LegalZoom.com. Or if you need an estate attorney, I have a wonderful group of estate attorneys that I can recommend for you, but you need to have a will. It takes away the ambiguity, okay? And it becomes relevant. And I had a friend who just had a death in the family, and the way that they made plans is keeping them out of the turmoil. I've dealt with multiple transactions that have been heirs property, and sometimes per documentation, it can be a nightmare to deal with. So how will understand how it works, then you can increase confidence within your household and always be able to articulate what happens if this crazy situation occurs, and pray that nothing ever does, but at the same time have that document. And then to start moving towards personal and professional goals, you have to have a desired monthly passive cash flow goal. Like you have to know what you're tracking towards. And in the spreadsheets that I've provided for you, and I built the passive cash flow model, which I use personally, and we all, we use, it helps you understand what that is going to look like so that you can start to make a plan to take that journey. Because if you don't know where you're going, how in the world are you going to take the first step on the journey? I will meet with you privately. It's really important that you understand what that looks like. I'm not expecting you to accomplish it overnight. Can you? Absolutely. The right things can happen. But to have a journey and to really be methodical in how you're taking it, it can be a blessing to you to put that all together. Okay. And then the execution steps to make it happen daily. And we'll talk about that in 1 second. And the most important, the paramount, the top of the top, you have to have the mindset to get there. Like if you're not forcing yourself into the mindset, you have to. And if you struggle with mindset, I can help you with that. Okay. I've built a framework for mindset, and I have had great results for people that I care about, especially when they struggle. Sometimes we just get in our own way temporarily, but to refresh your mindset. And of course, please take me up on the one-on-one business plan reviews for you, whether you want to talk professionally. I'm always available for those. I love doing those sessions with all you guys. So, and then when we start to look at, and this is the reason why I think it's important and relevant that we're talking about this on a Monday, is most people really get stuck on a Monday. They get stuck because it can be a depressing day. I used to really hate Mondays when I was younger and I wasn't in the right profession. I wasn't in the right career. Mondays, Sunday night, I'd start to feel a little bit of anxiety. Didn't want to go back to the office. It's just, gosh, man, I got to make a move. Something's got to happen. It just gets a little bit tenuous. And then you wake up on Monday morning and, without that lack of clarity, without that lack of purpose, without that lack of passion, you're going to feel stuck. So Mondays, it's always great to have a process that you do not change, that you have your Monday mapped out. And of course, curveballs can come up. Okay. But with a framework, you 100% go for it. Okay. So one, how do you get on set? You've got to expect success. You can't be hoping that you're going to be successful. You have to know what that definition of success is, and you have to look at it, and you need to write it down, and you need to have it where you can say, this is what I'm going for. I'm going to have goal clarity. Okay. It connects back to get the mindset right. And then for me, here's just some simple examples. I'm going to write that handwritten note to the client that has put money in my pocket. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Full of gratitude. Can't thank you enough. Mine is done for the day. It's written. It's all it needs is a stamp. It's going into the mailbox before lunch. That is happening. You understand? It's a small step, but it's like a mental trigger. It's like a mental light switch that just, yes, this is what we're doing. We're starting to build momentum. You got to study your pipeline. Where's your money going to come from? Okay. We're getting into that time of the year when are you going to hit the goals that you've set out at the beginning of the year? You got to know where you got to be following up on the pipeline. Okay. And I'm working on a great marketing plan for multiple disciplines to kind of help you figure out how do you treat the buckets of contacts that you have. And I can't wait to roll that out for you. Okay. And then prioritize your day and the steps that you have to take to get there. You want to put the hard tasks up front in your day. The top 3 things that you have to get accomplished today, even if you don't feel like you want to do it, you got to do them first. You got to do them first. Okay. Because you've got the better energy. You've got the better momentum. Get it done early. Okay. And then time blocking is an essential skill, especially if you're going to be independent out there making your own schedule. Okay. I've got a short week this week because I've got a trip I'm taking, and I've time blocked the whole week based on productivity. What are the things I have to get accomplished? Okay. And when people call me and they say, hey, can you take this meeting? Can you go with me? At a certain time, I have a meeting today, 11:45. It's based on productivity and value. Is that an important thing? Absolutely. And I've prioritized it based on productivity, not a short-term productivity, long-term productivity. And then you have to push past your limiting thoughts. Everybody has limiting thoughts. Okay. Everybody has limiting thoughts, and you have to know how to have the mental framework to push past that, and then protect your activities. And here's the easiest example. Protect your activities. I have a client that he wants to do something for his business, and amazing. I'm going to help him. And I know exactly what he needs to do. But I can tell based on his style, his reach out, that if he could put me in a room and keep me all day long to just work on his task, that would be a dream come true for him. But it's not fair to my other clients and to the other things that I have to do. And I've tracked all that back to knowing that I know exactly where I'll be at 2:00 today, right? I know exactly what time I'm picking up my kids today. I know exactly. And all this could have curveballs and changes, but I'm protecting the activities by the kindness and the way that I'm speaking to people, saying, I can meet you at this time or this time. Do any of those work for you? And 95% of the time, you're gonna have a positive response to one of those times. It's about protecting your activities, okay? And it's about putting all this together so that you can say Monday at 10:15 a.m., thank God it's Monday, and that you know exactly what you're going to do and how you're going to proceed. So I hope that training has been useful for you. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I hope everybody has a fantastic day.